to Out of the Rough. I'm Fred Arnold, and in this show, we're going to highlight opportunities and solutions to help get you out of the rough and into success, both personally and professionally. In these tough economic times, I want to provide you practical solutions to many of life's challenges. And today I've got Adam Grant. Adam Grant is a partner in the law firm of ALPERT, BARR, and Grant. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're also involved with the group Provisors with me, and
yes.
We call this the Provisor segment. But before we talk about law and before we talk about some things I want to cover with your firm, I want to talk to you about one of your passions, and that is you do triathlons. You're
yes.
a triathlete. I'm talking the real long ones.
Yes. I do Ironman distance triathlons. That's a 2.5 mile swim followed by 112 miles of biking. And then when you get off that, think about doing a marathon, 26.2.
26.2 miles.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
How did you get disciplined and involved in that?
It's been about 10 years that I've done this. Started shorter distances, then slowly worked up, and probably about 9 years ago, stepped up to the Ironman distance. It requires me to get up at about 4 o'clock in the morning, work out for a couple of hours every single day, and then probably 8 to 10 hours each day on the weekends.
And that translates into Adam's business, which means you have to be extremely disciplined. And in these tough economic times, I want to talk about what are you seeing right now? What kind of lawsuits or challenges are we seeing during these tough economic times?
It's a really good question. This economy has bred a huge amount of litigation. Most notably in the past dozen or so, well, about 6 years, it's been embezzlement. Both where it's the employee, sometimes your most trusted employee that doesn't take vacations, that seems to be always there, and is the one that is embezzling. I've represented both the employer when the employee is embezzling, and then even the flip side, and that is an employer is not doing as well as they have been, and they want to try and blame somebody else. They blame an employee for other reasons beyond the fact that they don't like them. And it truly has been incredible, where I've represented employees being sued for about $7 million. They didn't steal anything. It was just a downturn in the market. It truly is an incredible result, and directly from the downturn in the economy.
Now, the first thing they should do, Adam, is contact you, because they need to put some checks and balances in place, and there's the right way to do that.
Absolutely. The first call you absolutely have to make is to your attorney, second to your accountant, third to your IT professional. Those three key individuals will be able to really get your arms around what needs to be done. You need to stop any type of IT access to your computers. Also to remember your smartphones. People think, oh, it's just going to be to my computers. Well, somebody oftentimes has a smartphone. Maybe they have all of their passwords in that particular phone. You need to change any type of access to online accounting. That needs to be done immediately. And talking to the attorney, we need to start really to interview people and make sure the additional steps so it doesn't happen again.
So it doesn't happen again, yeah, that's really important. But then rumors start.
Yes, yeah. Part of, as an employer, you have to deal with, obviously, the human resource end of it, not just within your company, but also outside. If it's a larger company, you might want to also contact a PR person. The most important thing, have a point person, have a party line. Have it so that the spin is out there, that you're ahead of the game. The last thing you want is for your staff to realize that there's a problem, either financially or even your competitors. That, of course, can be damaging to you.
Now, very damaging, or they can help spread the rumor, so you want to get ahead of it. What if the embezzlement is significant?
It is. I have handled, as I said, both on the employer and employee. If it's significant, the first thing you need to do is also check to see if there's any insurance available. Oftentimes, there's employee theft policies that are available, and if you have that, the carrier can help you with that. They range from $50,000 usually on up, and depending upon the type of person you're talking about, the type of business, it could be something significant you really need to look into. Of course, you then need to identify maybe it's not just the employee. If they are perpetrating a fraud, if they are if they're signing checks improperly, the bank is also an alternative. And then look for other people, either inside or outside, Look and see if the accountant is possibly involved in it. If your books are being audited, very important to take a look at why wasn't the audit done properly.
Yeah, why aren't we catching that? And last but not least is so little time together, and that is security. Start with security to begin with, right? What are your security procedures in order to prevent it or after it happens?
You know, the most important thing I stress to my clients is please get me in before the problem happens. Setting up checks and balances, systems and procedures before the issue happens. Having an IT checklist going through, having a couple of people set up for checks and balances. Don't have the person who is writing the checks balancing the checkbook.
Right.
Making sure that somebody outside of the one person who writes the checks balances everything out. Sometimes if it's over a certain limit, make sure you have 2 people signing it. Look at your statements when they come. Is there a funny company there that you don't recognize? Oftentimes what will happen is an employee will create a company and start funneling money to that. So always be on top of it, avoid those things, and you will probably minimize any loss.
And one last thing is make sure you see the check written out when you sign it. I remember a case of one time where a person was just signing the check but not looking who it was written to, and they were just fanned out, but you couldn't see the name.
It is amazing what a creative employee will try and do. Yeah. You're right.
Yeah. Well, thanks for sharing with us. If those that are listening to this would like to reach you concerning this, how can they reach you?
The best way to reach me is call me at the office, which is 818-881-5000, or like anybody, I have my smartphone, so my email, agrant@alpertbar.com.
And just a quick side note, you're involved with business litigation, construction law, real estate, not just this, but we wanted to highlight something we're seeing more and more of.
Probably in the real estate matter, the failure to disclose. When somebody is trying to make money on their house, they don't want to tell you, and it's part of the economy, everything that may be wrong. Right. Look at the transfer disclosure statements, and I have a number of matters where somebody is just covering up that, the mold, covering up the termite, and that happens a lot.
Now we see that a lot ourselves. So, ladies and gentlemen, Adam Grant with the law offices ALPERT, BARR, and Grant. We're going to jump to a quick break, and we'll be right back.